Okay, so let's get started. So this is a presentation that I actually did recently in Las Vegas, talking about building a global business. So, we always want to start locally, with people that we know that are entrepreneurial and that are go-getting, but your business is going to naturally expand globally, in 2016, the way the world is, social media, word of mouth, etc. So let's get started. If you want to be a global company in 2016, you are going to forge ahead. If you are not a global company, if you are not a global network marketer, you really are in the dinosaur age of network marketing. So do you want to be a dinosaur networker, or do you want to be a new age network marketer? I mean, I didn't even look at the network marketing industry because of the dinosaur perception that I had of cold calling, hassling friends and family, door knocking, and the slow and strenuous build over years and years and years. The new age of network marketing, building a global business very, very quickly. We want to tap into that, global platform of the perfect storm. I always talk about, that rising middle class throughout the Asian Pacific area, the fastest growing area in network marketing today. I talk about the current economy, the baby boomers, Gen Y, but most importantly, the biggest thing that's seen from 2010 and by the end of 2020, we'll do as much in sales in the network marketing industry that we did in the previous 70 years before that decade. So it really is an amazing, perfect storm of events that we can tap into on a global scale. You don't want to miss out on having a global business. I mean, a lot of people are finding in their marketplace, if they're just in the US and the US isn't working for them, their business is suffering. But the person that has business in Russia, US, Brazil, Australia, New Zealand, Europe, their business is flourishing because it's always going to be a market that's working well. So it's about diversifying that market as well, which we'll talk about a bit more in a second. But, you want to start local. Excuse me, no matter if you've been in the industry for 30 years or 30 minutes, you want to start with your warm market, people that you know, people that are entrepreneurial. Okay, so it's not just about going to friends and family just because. Okay, you still want to identify the open-minded, positive, go-getting, entrepreneurial business friend that you have, not the broke, skeptical, pessimistic friend just because they're the friend. So you do want to distinguish between that. So we start local, warm market. That's going to give you some confidence. Okay, you're going to enroll some people, you're going to make some money. Okay, it gives you that confidence that, this thing does work. People that know me and like me and trust me are listening to me. I might just be able to do that. It's duplicatable. Like if you just start doing internet marketing or cold calling people in Russia because you can speak Russian, or you're doing Google Translate, that's very non-duplicatable for your team. So you want to start and show people a duplicatable business model. It's cheap. You might be on a pretty big budget when you start. Very cheap to talk to friends and family. It costs you nothing. That warm market is definitely where we want to get started in the business. We talk about diversification, with our business model, and it's so much fun that when you wake up in the morning, you see the growth that's happening in your business from the other side of the world. So, you want to think about it as a mini economy, and you want that to be diversified. It'd be like when you're buying shares, you don't just put, $500,000 into one stock. You would spread that out to make sure that you had a chance of something performing over periods of time. It is a new age world. You whack a YouTube video up on the internet, and someone from Brazil can find that video, contact you, and you can enroll them. Okay, so to miss out on that, you're just leaving too much money on the table. And there's new school network marketers and there's old school network marketers. And both people are right. Both people are right in the way they build the business. This business will always be a relationship business, a people business, a like business, a trust business. But you can do that through a YouTube video. People can see you. They can see you through social media. They get to know your family, get to hear your voice, get to know your personality. By the time you've met with them or spoke to them on the phone, they've already made up their mind whether they like you, trust you, whether they want to do business with you, whether they respect you. And that's how powerful technology and social media can be. And so, yes, we want to build offline, and yes, we want to build locally, but you're leaving a lot of money on the table not doing it the new age way as well. And you can do that really simply just by starting out with some Facebook stuff. So I like to combine, both online and offline, new age and old school as well. It's a lot faster to build your business. So if you're just building here in Australia with 20 million people, you might be able to make 6 figures, but I doubt you're going to make 7 figures. You really want to go global to go up and beyond, with that extra income, and it's going to happen for you faster. If we look at Lyndon with his, 2 fantastic people in Russia, his business basically doubled in a 6-month period because, they just went crazy as the first people in Russia. Think about if you did that in Brazil and India and these places. And so your business will grow faster. We spoke a bit about the population of Australia. Imagine just building it in New Zealand. Okay, you don't even want to build it just in the US, even though they've got a population of, 300 million people. So our product is wanted everywhere in the world. You've got to look at the base that Jeunesse has set up for us. It makes all this possible. And we're so spoilt, today in Jeunesse, because not every company is open in these countries all around the world. Not every company has a product that's going to work in every country and culture around the world. Jeunesse does. So it's easier, faster than ever before with technology. Okay, and we want to travel the world. We want to meet great people, different cultures, and make friends all over the world, with our business funding that. That's really why we're doing this, to have a lot of fun, have that lifestyle. So we do want that global business. If you look at my personal example in my business, I've enrolled less than 10 people overseas. Okay, less than 10, yet my business has a presence in 91 countries. And so it's not who you know. You're sitting there thinking, I don't know anyone overseas. Very easy to find someone through social media or through one of your team members or through a referral of one of your contacts. Our 130 people, we basically started locally, with only 10 of them overseas. That's turned into 100,000 people. Okay, so you got to be global today. My check would be about 30% less than what it is every month if we just had a local business. Okay, so it's very important to see that case study of, how one referral led to a massive Ruby business, one warm market led to a massive Ruby business. It's not who you know, it's who they can lead you to locally and globally. And people often say to me, oh, Aaron, I've got someone in Thailand to enroll. Oh my God, how do you do this? Aaron, I've got someone in China. Aaron, I've got someone in Brazil. How do you enroll people overseas? People overseas aren't aliens. They're human beings just like here, so you do it exactly the same. Instead of choosing Australia or instead of choosing US, instead of choosing Canada, you just choose the country of your choice in the drop-down menu and you enroll them exactly the same. You get them started in the business exactly the same. You teach them the systems exactly the same. Okay, you should have a getting started training in your business. I know we do in our team, the JFI getting started training. You teach the same thing to people in Russia, Brazil, Canada, India. You teach it exactly the same. Nothing changes. Human beings and network marketing will always work the same in every single culture. There are cultural differences. There are differences in product available, difference in way people work, so you can tweak it a little bit, but you just stick to the same process. You communicate with them the same, Facebook, text message, Skype. If you have a language barrier, we can show you some, forums to help counteract that a little bit later. You do the same training, the same webinars, you duplicate the business the same. You understand their culture. I mean, when we went to the Philippines, we had to understand that 7 p.m. start means anywhere from 7 p.m. till midnight on Filipino time, which is similar in Africa. You have to understand different cultures. You do tweak your business. In Asia, you really want to dress up, suit and tie. In Australia, we're a bit more casual. So you start to work out the different cultures and, what's going to get you the maximum benefit of your best work practice there. Keep it simple, exactly the same. Keep doing your 3-way calls. I mean, a lot of my guys in America say, hey, Aaron, I haven't got an international phone carrier. Aaron, I can't afford to call overseas. I mean, that's just limited leadership. You can call for free these days on Skype, on WhatsApp, on Facebook. There's plenty of ways to do 3-way phone calls, without a phone plan, without having to pay for it. So just keep it exactly the same. Live events. live events will work exactly the same as well. So you want to get people having that culture in their team that they go and start the live events, just like we've got started here with 10, 20, 50, 100, 200 people, so people can all get together, look each other in the eye, have that culture, have that excitement, because the live events is still the number one way to enroll someone in your business in any country, in any culture, in any language around the world. Okay, the webinars are always going to be number two, but then you do have to look at, places like the Philippines and in Africa, the internet can be unreliable in certain areas. So sometimes you have to adjust, and that's where the new, Jeunesse DVD that's just come out can be incredibly awesome in those types of regions. Okay, we want to look for leaders when we're building internationally. Building internationally is a tough one. You enroll somebody and you don't want to travel over there necessarily straight away, because it could be a big waste of money. But you want to try and find those leaders that don't need their hand held. You want to find a leader that's just going to get on with it and create their own PowerPoints and their own live events, their own systems, their own webinars, have contacts, go and meet people one-on-one. They're going to learn the process and be that leader. If you have to develop mindset, if you have to develop personal development and leadership from a distance, it's very, very tricky. And we see a lot of people, give up and go by the wayside there. But you give it every possible shot you can with people through the communication technologies that we have available to us today. But really, when you're looking internationally, you really want to look for the best leader that you can possibly find. And I look, when we started here in Australia, Lyndon's upline was in the US. There was just us, but we created our own Aussie PowerPoint. We created our own live events, Facebook page where you could find them, trainings like this, so we didn't have to wait, for Teresa or Jason or Kim to come to Australia and show us and set it all up, because we wanted to be the leaders to develop that. We didn't reinvent the wheel. We looked at what they were already doing. We used part of their PowerPoint they already had, and we just created our own culture. So they're the sort of leaders that you're looking for when enrolling people overseas. Try and pick the right markets. Go wherever the energy goes. If you're sifting through Facebook or LinkedIn or Googling people, just go with the leaders wherever they go. This business will work in any country, in any city, in any state, if you find the right leader. And someone asked me on a three-way call the other day, is the UK going to work? I haven't heard much of this things happening in the UK. I said it will work in the UK. It will work anywhere once we find the right leaders to really tackle that business. So, but it's saying that, try and pick the markets that are going to be easiest for you to get traction in. If you're spending a lot of time on concentrating on globally, Vietnam, for example, would be a very tricky country to get traction in. We don't have an office in Vietnam. Network marketing is very tough over there. The products are expensive, taxes. So it's very tough to get any sort of traction in Vietnam. At the same time, it's wide open for someone to do that. You just got to find the right leader. But try and get the markets like in Europe. France and Italy are pretty well established, looking at registering product there. Germany's doing really well. You look at Italy. And, look at the places that have got offices already put in there, general managers, product registered. They're the places now that you're going to get the most traction, because if you don't speak their language, you can always introduce them to the general manager, get them to go into the office. They can have a conversation. They can start building and tapping into the events that are already there. So really try and pick those right markets for your maximum results with the time that you have. It's good to have that international knowledge. So it's good to know what other companies are in those countries, what other companies are struggling in those countries. Perhaps there's a certain company that just hasn't got traction in the UK, but there's some really big networkers involved. They may be great people to give a phone call to and say, hey, our company's doing really well there. I see that yours isn't. Are you open to looking what we're doing? So it's really good to be able to see what type of companies are doing well, and it might be a great way to find good people to head up that country for your team. We spoke about other cultures. It's really important to understand how they work. Your leaders, how good their English is. A lot of people will write really good English, but not necessarily talk it. And look at the genetic differences. And so, some countries don't have all the products. So don't start rambling on about AM/PM if their country doesn't have it. You know, you look at places like Thailand and the US, you need an identification number. So make sure that you get that off the person when you're enrolling them. So understand the differences in each country when you're researching that person to enroll. And remember, keep it all the same, nothing changes, but just be smart and understand those subtle differences so that people see you as a leader, you can get them enrolled and get that duplicating. Now, when do we travel for our business? So you want to travel for your business when the person proves themselves. We've all been this person. Oh my God, I've got someone in Brazil. This is totally incredible. They've just told me they're a massive entrepreneur. They said, come over. I'm going to get 300 people in a room. Finally, I'm going to own Brazil. I'm going to make millions of dollars. This is absolutely incredible. You're at the airport. You're talking to your person over there. They're pumping it up, telling you how many people have already registered. You get over to Brazil, and this happens. We've all been there where we've done either a local event, an interstate event, or a global event, and this has happened. So don't necessarily listen to what people say. Watch what people do. Okay, now I'd rather someone pump it up and tell me how good they are and how many people they're going to enroll rather than, oh, you know, we'll see what happens. I'll give it a go. Might get a few people here and there. I'd rather them pump themselves up, but at the same time, you know, I want to watch and wait until they've enrolled 10 people, 20 people, 30 people, 40 people. That's when I'm going to jump over there. You know, they're a quick pearl, they're a quick sapphire, they're pumping through it. I'm jumping on a plane and supporting that person. I don't care where in the world they are, because that's an investment in my business now. But to jump on a plane on day one and go over there and have this situation cost me $2,000 or $3,000, come back and that person never puts action in, yeah, that's $2,000 or $3,000 that you just don't need to spend. The way technology is today, you can coach them and chat with them and train them from a distance. And once they prove themselves, once it's an investment in your business, then you do absolutely everything you can to support those people in your team. And that's why we fly to the US, to the Philippines, to Denmark, to Europe, to Singapore, to South Africa, because our team is performing there. They deserve to have the support. So make sure you time that and be smart. Plan around major events. So Orlando's coming up in October in the US. Make sure you've already got your ticket. It'll be the most exciting event you've ever been to in your life. 20,000 people at a rock concert and Genesis, the band, playing. It is going to be unbelievable. New products launched there. But think about, okay, who do I know or who can I prospect in and around the US, Los Angeles, Orlando, and I can do a little bit of a tour and make that productive. I can start prospecting people in Orlando, go and meet with them while I'm over there, and then go to the event. So you want to try and do that. Also, you want to try and take 20, 50, 100 of your team members over to these events, because your business will never look the same again. The more people you can take to this event, the bigger your business will go. Same in the Australian conference in the Gold Coast. The more of your team members you can get there, that'll set up. I mean, well, I know we're going to be in April, May, but the rest of 2016, it'll just continue to power through. All right, so you need to get as many people you can. Same in the Gold Coast. I mean, talking on a local ground, you think about who can I prospect in Brisbane? Who can I prospect on the Sunshine Coast? Who can I prospect on the Gold Coast? Go there, have 20 meetings, and then bring them along to the conference and make the most of that conference. So you want to plan everything sort of 90 days. Okay, what's the next 90 days that I can lead up to? All right, I'm going to go absolutely crazy until the Mediterranean cruise. Then I'm going to go on the Med cruise and I'm going to kick back and reward myself a bit. But I'm going to also prospect people in Barcelona. I'm going to prospect people over in Europe. I'm going to make the most of that trip. Okay, they're going to go really, really hard until the Australian conference. Then I'm going to prospect and take as many people as I can there. Then I'm going to go really, really hard until Orlando. And then I'm going to finish the year hard, October, November, December, and reward myself at the end of the year because I've been really productive in my business. So number one, you get organized, you know when the live events are, you make sure you get there, you prospect people in that area, you take as many of your team members there as you can. It's not about just rocking up at the last minute and sitting in the back row. You know, it might be good for you might get some motivation and belief, but it's so unleveraged. You know, one person that comes back a bit pumped, which lasts for 2 days, and you slip back into your old ways. If you have 50 of your team members there that are pumped, they're going to get on and build the business. That's going to keep you pumped for the next year, and you're going to learn stuff. Your team are going to learn stuff, and it's just much more leverage and smart way to build your business. Qualify your leaders and your time. So you do this locally, and you also definitely do this globally. The amount of people that have rang me and said, Aaron, I've got someone in India to enroll, Philippines to enroll, Africa to enroll. And I go, that's great. I mean, everybody has someone from those countries that is interested to join. But, when it comes to the crunch, many people, don't have the money to get started. They don't have a credit card, and they didn't realize it was a business. They thought it was a job, or sometimes they're just after a hot date. They're on there and they think you look pretty good. So really qualify people. It's really common sense and simple to do this. Okay, fantastic. So this is a business opportunity. You're going to be looking at least $300 to whack on your credit card. Are we ready to do that right now? And that's going to sort them out pretty quickly, because if they're after a hot date, they're not looking to pay for it. If they haven't got the money, if they're the real deal, we can find ways around that. But qualify people. Ask them what they currently do with themselves. Ask them, do they have family? Where do they live? Have you done anything like this before? What's your goals and dreams? What's your vision for the future? You're going to start to get a bit of a vision of what type of person that you have in front of you. And if their answers are, I don't know, just looking around at opportunities, money's not everything, I don't really like working with people, but I just like the look of your ad, wanted to see what it was about. You're not going to even drive across town for that person. Okay, so get them on a webinar. If they're still interested, get them on a 3-way call. If they enroll, go and meet with them. Okay, but if someone says to you, look, I've done some network marketing in the past, but I haven't done anything for 3 or 4 years. I got up to 6 figures in my last company. I'm really hungry. It's time to draw a line in the sand for me and my family. I really see network marketing as a great vehicle. I like the way that you put on your Facebook post about the business. I'm dead serious. Now I'm going to drive all the way across town in peak hour traffic to meet with that person. So, driving around all day long, meeting people can be a bit of a drag. Driving around in traffic can be a bit of a drag, can be really depressing for your business. But if you qualify people, it can be exciting. Okay, either you sat at home and qualified 3 people and they weren't who you thought you needed to jump on a plane or jump in the car for. And so you literally copied and pasted a few links, jumped them on a webinar, the new age of business. You're respecting your time. And then if that person's not interested, you haven't wasted your time, and it's a fun business. So that's a really important part of your business, to make it more fun, to make it more productive. It's a good thing to teach to your team to qualify people. It will limit your disappointments and make the most of the limited time you have to put in your business. Headhunting international leaders. Okay, so we're going down that track of sort of gone local and gone through War Market. You could use social media. You could Google, top network marketer Russia. Jump on Facebook and LinkedIn and business websites. And it doesn't just have to be network marketers. It can be entrepreneurs, business owners, direct sales, those sorts of people. Ask people for referrals if they've got links to overseas. Remember to qualify them. Build relationships. There's nothing more powerful than building relationships with someone. People are 1,000 times more likely to join you if you've taken the time to build some form of relationship. We speak about picking up the phone all the time. So whilst internationally, it might be tough to just pick up the phone and cold call internationally. It might be simpler to, do a LinkedIn chat, a Facebook chat. Then you want to ask for their phone call and make sure that you're getting on the phone as quickly as you can. A great way to do the calls too is through video calls, through Skype video, through Facebook video, because it adds that extra element of relationship, trust, friendship, looking at that person in the eye. It really does help you to convert. So write that one down as a real secret point of using video calls with people. It really accelerates that trust. And remember to follow up. You're not going to enroll people on the first time. The amount of people that don't enroll is crazy. The amount of people that do enroll with second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh follow-up is also crazy. So remember to follow up. Put it in your phone, put it in your diary, so it's organized and structured way to follow up, and then match that energy with energy. Qualify your people. You can create a warm market globally as well. So it's what I love. So go and start your own Facebook group, your own brand, your own website, your own YouTube channel, pump out a heap of videos. You can really create a global warm market. You might call it Network Marketing Russia and start to really provide value and do a heap of videos. There's tools you can use to make sure you've got Russian subtitles and, have people from all over the world that are interested in a certain topic come to see you and create those relationships and, turn that cold market warm. The technology today, you can really do that. People are more inclined to join you once they've seen some value, once you build that relationship. And there's nothing better in 2016 to do that than with video. If video scares you, get over it. Video is not that scary. Fair enough getting up and talking in front of 2,000 people maybe, but doing a video isn't. So you really need to train your brain and get over that very, very quickly. But I do know what it's like because, when I was petrified of public speaking, which wasn't that long ago, I also used to get very nervous and wasn't much better just talking into my video on my phone at home by myself. I don't know what it was, just because I knew, I guess, it was going up online and someone was going to see it. But it's crazy stupid to think like that when you're home by yourself, no one's watching. So you got to get over that one and pump out a heap of videos. Whack them up on your Facebook page. There's nothing simpler than turning your phone around, doing a video of a topic that you just learned from reading an Eric Worre book and providing value to someone for that day. Okay, then expand to your YouTube channel, expand doing better videos. It's not hard, it's not rocket science. Don't go and spend hours and hours and hours doing it, but just turn your phone around and upload it and start practicing that and get a global warm market happening. Here are some tools to help you out. Obviously, Skype. If you haven't got Skype, get it. And I would go with Skype Premium because that allows you to do multiple conference calls on Skype Premium with video and allows you to call mobile phones for a really cheap rate anywhere in the world. Get Skype Premium. Google Translate. I was just chatting with a guy from Brazil all day yesterday, copy and pasting it into Portuguese, copy and pasting it back into English and sending it to them. It's a really good little tool so we could have a conversation about business in Brazil through Google Translate. The webinar platforms such as this one, even though the audio keeps cutting in and out, but they're really good. Zoom is also a really good one, probably more reliable actually is Zoom. I really like that platform. Use the general managers and the country managers. So if you're speaking with someone in Russia but they don't speak very good English, get them to meet with the general manager over there in Russia. Go to the office. They'll be very impressed. They can have their own conversation in their own language, okay, and then get them going that way. So build those relationships and get the contacts with all the country managers around the world. WhatsApp is amazing for just texting and groups, especially throughout the Asian marketplace. They're really big through WhatsApp and WeChat. WeChat's kind of like the Chinese Facebook. Make sure you got a presence on that. Skyscanner, you can check all the flights all around the world. Make sure you get the best prices. One of my really wise mentors many years ago, he said to me, it's not what you make, it's what you keep. And so I see a lot of people that make it big in network marketing, get to the top of their pay plan, and they start flying business class everywhere. They start buying new cars and new houses, and basically they're spending what they're making. And, I think it's a better opportunity is once you're making your big money, that's when you want to be putting it away because, the rainy days, the summer months, they don't last forever. And so, Skyscanner can help you get the best flights. And there's lots of different tools out there you can do that. And, same with staying in hotels. I'm a member of the Accor group. I get good discounts. You jump on lastminute.com. I'm not staying in penthouses and spending what I'm making. Now, you mix that up and, the reason we're doing this is to have a good lifestyle, but you pick and choose your times when you do that, when it makes sense, when it adds value. There's no point going absolutely crazy. So, go and build your business, especially on a budget in the beginning. And check out those great flight details on Skyscanner. World Clock, very important. Everyone should have World Clock app on their phone so that when you're calling someone in Perth, you know what time it is. When you're calling someone in the US, you're not calling them at 3 o'clock in the morning and waking them up. So that's really important when you're building a global business. The currency converter for when you're traveling, really important to have an international phone plan so I can call and text anywhere in the world. Part of my phone plan, I can travel with the same phone number anywhere in the world for just $5 a day. My phone number stays the same, data stays the same, and that was important for me to have that international phone plan. You look at the Jeunesse videos, there's a lot of them on the Jeunesse YouTube channel that have subtitles in Chinese, Portuguese, all different sorts of languages. So I actually sent one of those videos, the pay plan video, to the guy in Brazil yesterday with Portuguese subtitles. So you can use them as well. And there's actually an app I just downloaded the other day. It's called Speak and Translate. Absolutely gold. You just put which language you're speaking in, and then which language you want to convert to. You speak into it, and it will convert what you just said into their language, and you can copy that audio file and send to them, so you can actually have a conversation in their language as well. Speak and Translate. Oh, and we've got Craig there. This was actually a real winner. We said let's have a joke over in Las Vegas. Let's do the last slide like this, and let's pretend that Craig didn't know about it, and it went down a treat. And we said Craig is also a great help. He can help you build the business. Make sure you got his phone number, because he's one of the biggest tools that I know. He's a massive tool. Use this tool in your business. And people thought it was hilarious. So we'll try and keep up our comedy act when we're presenting over in the US. But that was a great presentation in front of a couple of hundred people. The next day we were presenting in front of 3,000-4,000 people. Vegas was an incredible trip. You really want to get on those international trips. So Mediterranean cruise coming up, the Diamond trip coming up, Orlando coming up. I think we can get 200 Australians and New Zealanders into Orlando in October, at least 200. We can get 2,000 at least to the Gold Coast in May. So make sure every single live event you go to, you're taking a Gold Coast form, getting people committed to a ticket. We're going to pump out the rest of 2016. We're already up 92% on January and February than we were last year. So we did 1.1 billion last year. We're already on target to get close to 2 billion. And January and February are quiet months of the year in network marketing, especially with Chinese New Year, etc. So, speaking with Wendy, she really sees us doing somewhere between 1.5 and $2 billion for 2016. So if your business is not where you want it to be, if your business is behind where it was, you need to just give yourself a kick up the bum and get on with it. Go and enroll 10 new people. People get comfortable. They start management mode. They start waiting for inside leg placements. But the business is going crazy. It's absolutely going crazy, and people's businesses are performing better than ever before. So if people's businesses aren't where they want to go, then it's just a matter of enrolling those 10 new people, enrolling those quality, and just putting the head down and getting on with it, because we've had such a dream run in Jeunesse, especially for people that have never done network marketing. This is their first company, and their perception of network marketing is, man, you just join it, the company goes to $1 billion in 6 years, and it's happy days. Well, let me tell you, that's like finding a unicorn on the side of the street, because most network marketing companies don't do that. They take 10, 20 years to get to $1 billion, if they get there at all. Your business will go up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. You'll rebuild it 5 times. In Jeunesse, we haven't experienced that. All right, guys, that's all from me. I look forward to seeing you on the next JFire training. I think I'm on the Monday night webinar as well, so I'll see you guys Monday night. See you at the live events. Look forward to catching up in person. Cheers, guys.